How's it going, peoples? Um, my last episode was kind of eye-opening about what my political views are, but hopefully my next episode, this episode, is probably not going to be as revealing. But even so, uh, this game therapy. Today's episode is not brought to you by this awesome juice that I'm having. And it's not Monster this time. It's really good. It's naked juice. It's really delicious. Oh, and also this beer that I'm having too. It's Elysian Space Dust IPA, and it's not brought to you by anything. So. Mm-hmm. Your phone's done charging because I took it off of it. Huh? They're in the drawer, and also there's. So that's all. Finish. All right. Let's see. What are we gonna call this episode about? We're not gonna talk about penis, Brandon. We're gonna talk about. Let's see here. Let's talk about. Presentational projection, emotional projection, as well as other things. When you want to make someone else feel comfortable, obviously, when you're in a relationship or about to be in a relationship, or you feel as though you want to be in a relationship, you want to project something about yourself that you want other people to like. Realizing that
oh shit, sorry.
What the fuck?
Oh!
Realizing that you want to project the best thing about yourself is probably one of the best things you can do when you're actually trying to project. You're trying to project anything about yourself. Like, whether you want to project how giving you are, or when you want to project how emotionally stable you can be. In messed up situations as well as good situations. Because sometimes people can be stable in messed up situations, but then lose it in like completely normal situations. So, there's that. There's situations where I've lost my temper and not really done anything terrible, but I mean, I kind of reacted a way that I probably shouldn't have. So, I mean, but also when you project something about yourself in a relationship, or in a thing that you want, or just a job interview that you want, you project something about yourself that you want someone to be able to understand that you're responsible, or emotionally as well as physically, and oh, that's a good beer. It's Dust IPA. It's really good beer.
What is this bullshit?
Making realizations into the aspect of emotional projection. You have to be able to sustain yourself, I guess.
You got lucky, buddy.
For so long without emotional contact, with emotional contact, and not just be what's the word, consistent, I guess, because that's not something that you want to be able to maintain. I mean, and also, I mean, not exactly consistency, because sometimes people want that emotional surge of something. They want to be able to feel something in a relationship. I mean, that's the reason why a job interview and what's the word? And a relationship would probably be a completely different thing. In a relationship, you're probably going to want to feel something, or feel something good about someone else. Realizing that,
Right, let's go. Shit! Get out the fucking way. Excuse me.
Citizens report a
realizing
Grand Theft Auto north
that you
of
don't exactly need
the Lago Zancudo Causeway.
consistency, but you don't need, I'd say, range, I guess? Not, you don't need range. Okay, cool. There we go.
That ain't good. Come on,
Oh
bro.
wait, that don't want this car anymore, because it's terribly evil and
Raise up now, motherfucker.
Suspect last seen north of the Lago Zancudo Causeway.
Come on.
Suspect is on foot. Roger.
This is really great. And,
Officers report.
dang it. Shit. That sucks. Realizing that, that you have to be accepting of yourself if you're going to project something about yourself. And you have to accept that that part of yourself is real. Realizing that, that you can't just say that you want to be that thing and then be that thing. It's not exactly a science, but it's not exactly not science either. So you can't just say that you want to project something about yourself without understanding actual emotions, exact emotions sometimes as well. Because if you really want to project something about yourself, then you have to be able to portray yourself as being a certain kind of thing, and that's in some ways how people get famous. And hearing about it is probably really boring. So I'm gonna spice it up a little bit, try to see if I can make this fun. So I'm gonna use a big car, and I'm going to see. There we go. Alright. Gonna go and see if I can. There we go. Big truck. Big truck.
Out.
Good.
Get out.
Alright. I'm gonna use this big truck to go straight into the military base and see how long I can last in this one. I must project being good at video games myself. It's basically like
We have a
you can't turn a promotional projection into a skill eventually.
Boulevard.
I mean, not eventually. Eventually you can do that, but immediately no, because. So I'm gonna see if I can emotionally project me being good at video games into lasting at least a minute on the military base against the tank. As soon as the tank shows up, it starts a minute. I'm probably only going to last 5 to 10 seconds, but this is going to be fun.
Suspect westbound north of
Oh, is that a big car?
Cassidy Creek Bridge.
No, I need a big car. Oh, it's me that has the wanted level. Not them.
Units reporting a 505
There's a big car.
Cassidy Creek Bridge.
Like shit. See if I can get a friggin' tanker.
MOS in pursuit of suspect on foot.
Roger that. Officers report a 505 west of
There we
the
go.
Cassidy Creek Bridge.
Awesome. This is going to greatly reduce my chances of actually surviving against the tank. So, we are going to see how long we can last. Okay. I mean, I'm obviously going to last against the cars, but that's the reason why I'm going up here.
Shit!
There we go. We are gonna go inside the freaking base so we can see if we can last against the tank in this place. It's gonna be so awesome.
Suspect doing 50 miles per hour on
See? 5 seconds. Not even. Probably should have jumped out and got into a car, but I probably wouldn't have lasted in front of the cars. So, understanding that you can't apply something that you just learned. You have to understand it emotionally, because being emotional about something and understanding emotions are two different things, because there are racing thoughts in your head. There's different things in your body that probably you don't understand and that you need to calm down, like even your nervous system, your heart rate, or your anything basically. Realizing that let's see if we can jump into the military base from the hill with this amazing truck. Alright, I think they have shocks on this thing, so it'll pop up in the air, maybe. So, you can say that you're gonna apply something to something else. It's basically like physical stuff, kinda. I mean, because emotional is kind of like physical, because it has to do with a physical part of your body, which is your brain. So, it's basically the same thing. But understanding that that it takes some time to master. Oh, that anything takes time to master. Oh my gosh! And I died. I didn't even make it to the military base. See? You can say you're gonna do stuff, but then you completely fail. And then that actually works into what I'm actually trying to say. Because I'm not saying that you need to talk about your problems to be able to get to know yourself, but you need to be able to express yourself emotionally in a great deal. To be able to express the amount of emotion it takes to be able to understand yourself emotionally and physically.
Let's go!
Or even sexually, or even in any way. So, and also, I mean, it has a lot to do with me just talking aloud and stuff like that. So, I don't really have anybody like
415 near
bouncing messages off of. People actually like my stuff, but let's not think about that right now. Let's think about what you want to do with yourself. Okay, you want to talk to a person. And I've had trouble with this, because this is the reason why I'm talking about this stuff aloud. You want to talk to an individual. That individual likes sports. And you want to get into know sports. You can't immediately say, I know everything about sports. To be able to say to that person that, oh yeah, I'm completely like the dictionary or the encyclopedia of sports. So that basically is what it's like to be able to understand yourself emotionally and understand your own emotions, because it's like getting to know a different person. It's like that's like saying that like when you break down math inside your own head, it's hard because you're taking away, you're adding more steps to stuff that you would usually do automatically. So that's what you have to do, is realize that you're adding more steps, and obviously it's going to be more complicated. So
Dispatch, we have a
what you
visual.
have to do
Moving
is let's say, and I'm not a professional at this because it's just really, I'd say, like, difficult, I guess, to do it. But it's difficult to express sometimes. So okay, let's see if we can get into this military base in the meantime. God damn it. Almost made it. Almost made it. In the meantime, I'm gonna break in with this car. Alright, realizing that, and also, yes, when you try to do it your next try, you can completely ruin your chances. I'd say when you're expressing yourself emotionally, because I've had trouble with this over the course of a certain period of time, and obviously it's apparent, but realizing that that you need help with your emotions is a big deal, and I went through a lot of therapy to actually be able to understand myself emotionally. Not individual therapy, it was mostly group therapy, but I got to be able to understand myself and understand what I really wanted to do with myself. And I mean, that had nothing to do with putting videos on YouTube, but it also had a lot to do with being able to express myself. And I mean, maybe I guess, like, because it's like, it's not like the therapy was shitty or the therapy was bad. The therapy was good, but it gave me, because it gave me
you stupid beast.
the want to be able to understand myself emotionally by myself. It gave me the want to be able to understand myself emotionally and to project myself in a certain way, to be able to understand my real self and to be able to project my real self to my everyday life. So, I mean, like, the real me is nervous, is sometimes frustrated, not always anxiety full or full of anxiety, but when I'm doing something for the first time, I'm always anxious, I guess. But like this, me deciding to go into the military base with a trailer. I'm gonna do this for the first time. I've never done it before, and I'm gonna see how well it works, and see if I don't, see if I can go up against the tank. Because I mean, you never know, you know. I might be able to beat the tank. I might be able to survive against the tank for more than just 20 seconds. And if I don't lose the goddamn trailer, like, okay, cool, all right, here we go. The first times of anything is always hard. The first steps of being able to gradually go into a different part of your life, a gradual steps towards saying you won't do something anymore, or saying you won't be something anymore. Because I stopped smoking cigarettes, and I'm really happy about it. So, see if we can make it. Gonna go into the military base in Oregon. We're gonna get the tank. We're gonna get his freaking attention, and we're gonna see if we can get some bank. We're gonna bank some friggin' time in here, and we're gonna see if we can do this. Oh, god damn it, that didn't work. And the tank just blew me to fucking bits. All right. All right, now realizing that the first go round is never going to be easy. The first go round of anything is never going to be easy. The first go round of your emotional fortitude is never going to be easy. Realize that you yourself have so much left to go through and so much left to actually experience to be able to actually be a complete person on your own. I myself have not that much left to go through because sometimes I would entertain the idea of not entertain the idea, but entertain the idea of frustrations and like teasing and like I don't know.
Shit!
That was my darkest part, I guess, of being able to understand myself emotionally and realize that you're not a hero. Realize that when you're stripped down to everything that you've ever succumbed to, that your reactions to everything are not hero-like. Realize that you're not your own hero. Like it won't be pretty. It won't be fun sometimes. It'll be so nerve-wracking and very frustrating when you don't say the correct words to be able to express yourself. But extremely extremely taxing to be able to see through what you want for yourself in reality, and how you're going to get that through being able to visualize and being able to make something for yourself. Because with a fast car, everybody gets to the prize. With a good car, everyone gets to what they want. Everyone gets to have what they want on the first try. But guess what? The fast car is going to be your first try. You're going to have the Wright brothers first try. That's what happens. That's what emotional projection happens to be. Because you don't know what to project about yourself. You don't know how to project it about yourself. You don't know the way to project it about yourself, but only the fact that you've had certain experiences that have led you to believe that you're either heroic, frustrating, nervous, or villainous, or maniacal, or anything like that. But any of those certain aspects can all be the same thing, because certain people can. And also, I'm gonna take another sip.
We are airborne and en route.
of this naked juice because it's delicious. All right, we're gonna play chicken with the tank now. We've got our car, and we are making a euphemism. So, and euphemisms don't just have to be in religion. Because I got frustrated every single time they'd make a euphemism and then make it about God and then say that God was the reason for it. And that's the reason for the euphemism as. And no, it's annoying. Why can't there be a euphemism about not God, about not an imaginary person that you can't fucking see? It's annoying and stupid and dumb and retarded and idiotic. But we're gonna see how long we can last. when we're away from nothing. Got it. Brings up this. And we're not gonna run into the tree and hurt our wheels. Alright, we're gonna turn that off. We need to concentrate. Awesome.
Units reporting to 505 on,
I don't have the left tire. God damn it. Concentration didn't do us any good. So, and also, that's the point, and sometimes, too, concentration doesn't do you any good. If you're emotionally unstable, sometimes what you have to realize is you have to calm yourself down first and then be able to concentrate. And you have to concentrate on certain things, and if you don't understand yourself emotionally, then you won't realize that sometimes if you lose everything, then I've always seen stuff on comic books about, oh, you stare into the abyss. It's like, yeah, this, like I saw it last night. I saw the reference to the Killing Joke with Joker and Batman. Okay, yeah. First of all, I mean, it just didn't make any sense, really. Because why would you laugh? I mean, it's not funny when a dude. So, okay, but okay, the Killing Joke, okay. He does whatever he does, and then all that other stuff happens, but then Batman hears a joke from him and then laughs. Okay? I mean, it would say much to his stature to be able to laugh at a dude who raped and tried to murder a woman that he had just had sex with. I'm gonna dive on car. Yeah. Did it a little bit, kind of. So, all right. But also to that effect, people don't just lose their mind. I mean, when they're put to a terrible situation, a terrible place, terrible people will do things that are stupid and try to come up with certain things to be able to make it seem like I ran into a stop sign. That was fucked up. Alright. They try to make it seem like their actions aren't that funny, or their actions aren't that good, or their actions were just I'd say their actions were just I'd say not with ill will, I guess. I mean, I'm talking about negative stuff and everything like that, but projecting what you really want for yourself, about yourself, and also people will use those as weapons sometimes. People can use that stuff as weapons. Anything that I say here in therapy and different, or in game therapy, or in any kind of things, because I'm not a professional, so technically this isn't therapy. This is actually me just talking to myself because I have 0 viewers right now, and I don't care. But mostly to that effect, I'd say people can do that no matter what they say, no matter what their intentions are. People can make it seem like something is a certain way, like they're right about a certain situation, and no one else is to be blamed, or no one else is to be seen, or no one else's opinions are to be seen, or something like that. But understandably so. Okay, come on. Oh, I still landed it though. That was cool. Um, Projecting the right thing about yourself is always a good thing. But also your intentions, making your intentions clear, are also the most important thing. Because if at once you realize that you're not doing the right thing about yourself, you should stop. If you're not making the right decisions for yourself, then you should stop. You really should. I mean, you might make a lot of money, but you won't get anything emotional out of it. And people want to say that, oh, you got to make the money, you got to make the power, you got to do the things, and sometimes you just realize that you get a lot of not fake people, but people who aren't emotionally attached to you because the only thing they're there for is the money. Because the only thing you're there for is the money. So realize you're making a product no matter what you're doing. Realize you're doing something for society no matter what you're doing. No matter if you're making toy things in a goddamn garage in someone's basement or in a goddamn basement in someone's garage. That's pretty two things that probably don't go together. But understandably so. You should make it to where you're a person that gets to experience both parts of life that are actually true. You know? Your emotional awakening and your physical awakening. Because eventually if you keep people don't work out the right way sometimes, because I can tell you that pretty much everything you're doing to be able to do things in life, you're overdoing it. I'm not saying that you have to be lazy or anything like that, but you have to know your limitations. Know when you're hurting yourself physically, and know when you're hurting yourself mentally. Realize when you're hurting yourself mentally, because sometimes you can't go back from stuff like that. Especially when you make when you get into a physical altercation, get like a concussion, and completely lose all motor skills in a certain area. Realize that stuff doesn't come back every time. So, that's the reason why I sat and rested, and I'm resting now, because I've had so many close calls and so many frustrating parts of my life. I realized that eventually I was going to hit a stop sign, and I did. Not just in the video game, but I realized that there were parts of me that I couldn't share. There were people that I could never be a part of, and there's a life that won't happen, or possibilities that won't happen. Not really a life, but possibilities that won't become. But and it has nothing to do with any other person. It has everything to do with what I wanted for myself. It has everything to do with every opportunity that I ever could have had. And I realized that what I was doing to myself was basically giving myself so many bruises for so long that I would give myself reflexes that certain times of the day I would get bruises. And that's basically what's happening to Brett Favre. He says that, we went home and retired and he had bruises from a whole bunch of... No, that's a reflex sometimes. Sometimes you can make a reflex and it can bruise you. Like, you really can. Like, you can say that, like, oh, he went home and he was bruised up from practice. It's like, no, that's what happens when you go into football for too long. I'd say over 20 years, I guess. Over anything over 8 or 9 is probably like detrimental to your health. But realize that you're making a reflex every single day. You're making a habit every single day. We are creatures of habit, but we create them. Because creatures of habit don't know how to stop it. But we know how to stop it. And sometimes we don't know why, but we do. But that's what happens after about 20 years of playing football. Instead of you reliving everything through your mind, you relive everything through your body, and your body starts to literally hurt itself. So realize that that's the truth. It really does happen like that, and I realized that I had to stop playing football because of my thumb. My left-handed thumb, my thumb in my left hand, and my thumb in my right hand, because I was double jointed, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was putting too much weight on my thumb, and because every single time I put my hand down to put your hand down, and you lean forward, or you lean back, or you lean anywhere. It's the absolute truth, and football kills people. It's not every single ounce of it. It's every single ounce of it, really. It's not every single ounce of the hits and everything like that, but it's the fact that your body gets used to being hit. It really is. It's really that bad, because your body starts to gain reactions about what happens, because your body will start to react to something. It's like there's a film going on in your brain, and you have to stop it, but you have to stop it slowly, or else what happens is your body will start to react to that same thing that happened about 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, or 10 years ago, or anything, because it will happen. It will. You'll start to feel your muscles start to twitch, or start to I'd say get I'd say because my feet still crack, basically, from the weight that was put on me, and the weight and the punches and everything like that. My feet still crack.
Whoa, too close.
Realizing that you shouldn't put that much stress on yourself. I realized the moment that I knew we were gonna lose my my last game. I realized that what I had done to myself was completely terrible, and I should have been working alongside myself and trying to be able to better myself every single day, and just more nurturing myself than anything, because I was growing, and I shouldn't have done that while I was growing, because I probably stunted my growth by actually a few inches, probably, or maybe even a foot. It probably stunted my dad's growth too, because my dad did it when he was younger.
You know how much this car costs? No way.
And it probably is the reason why he's so not emotionally inept, but because my dad's pretty understanding, and he's been through a lot, and but it's probably the reasons why he was so insensitive to himself, I guess, in certain relationships, sometimes.
Get out the fucking way.
Sorry. But, realizing that you gotta take it step by step and take it day by day, and, realize that, I mean, my dad is not emotionally inept. I mean, my dad's pretty in touch with his emotions now. And, I think that, like, I mean, being around him more when I was older, and, when I was like, I'd say like 20, I started hanging out with him more, I guess, and then grinding. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go in this way.
Copy that, 10-4. Citizens report a reckless driver.
I need to get out.
Great Ocean Highway in Port Santudo.
I got enough space.
Suspect eastbound in northern Port Santudo.
Let's tank.
Dispatch, we have a visual. Moving in.
Ah, shit. Son of a bitch, I didn't think they would follow me. Alright, so realizing that that it takes time to be able to understand yourself emotionally and physically too, because there's still damage that that I feel every day from actually hurting myself so much. Don't put your kids in football. Don't ever put your kids in football. It's stupid. It's really stupid because you could be teaching them how to switch from one mode of thinking to another so quickly that if they were actually accosted by someone who was maybe 4 or 5 times their size, then they'd be able to learn how to handle themselves in a dignified way, or be able to handle themselves if they were ever accosted or had to defend themselves in any way. Being smart over being bulky is a must, and being fast over being anything is not that big of a deal, because there are smarter kids. You don't have to be completely fast to be able to be completely good at a certain sport, or completely just a certain way. Realize that if you push yourself too hard physically, then you'll never be the same mentally. My bones, I take vitamins and my bones like hug each other sometimes. and my spine cracks, like I don't know. It just does that sometimes. I don't know. It may seem like I'm a jock, but I was a dork all along. I was a big dork, and I never got any girls. I know I was too nervous around them. I was too nervous to ever be around them. I was like, there were women that I'd be like, hey, what's up? And then I'd just be like, that's like all I had. It's like I was like, how's it going? And then or like that was like the only thing I had as far as women went, and me going towards women would go to, or I'd be like, or I'd try to say something that would just like make up like a verse between us or something like that. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm really nervous. I really am. I'm nervous around women, and I'm nervous around people that can make my life better. But also, I'm not going to say that I'll ever give up, because I mean, there are parts of my life that are going to change. There are parts of my body that are probably going to change, and I'll most likely be able to heal myself within a certain given amount of time, but with a certain amount of vitamins and a certain amount of good food and a certain amount of healing and resting, and constantly worrying about my calorie intake and worrying about my fatty acids intake and worrying about constant vitamin intake and different things like that from natural foods or different things that I need to drink or anything like that. So, or eat, or I don't know, expel, I guess. But realize that just like a mental, I mean, just like mental, or just like physical, presentation. Mental presentation takes so much effort, so much time, so much rest, and an unbelievable amount of patience. So many amounts of patience. I can't even imagine or measure the amount of patience that it takes to be able to understand yourself emotionally. You can say that it just takes one day, but you'll be able to understand that you won't be able to take most situations, or be able to understand most people, where they're coming from, or how they're coming from that area, or their being, or the way they're being, or the fact that they are sometimes not your friend, you know, and the fact that sometimes you don't want to be in certain areas or certain places because people are just stupid and they don't deserve your attention. Some people are just stupid and they don't deserve your attention.
Hello.
Realize that you're better than who you think you are. Realize that you're better than a threat. You're better than an idle threat or an idiotic, stupid thing. And I mean, commenting on my last video, I can say that I can say so much about what people are and how people are, and or the way people are, but it's myself that actually deserves the most attention from me, and in that sense I am the biggest dork, because I've always thought that being able to understand certain things and certain people, or certain anythings, like the goings on of the inside of a comic book, was always the best part of me. the best part that I thought was good. And my sister ruined my comic book stuff a long time ago. So I decided to get into sports. And it wasn't an ending part of my life. It wasn't ending anything. It was just, you know what? I kind of was set on it, you know? And if I really wanted to be a dork, then I had to experience other parts of life to actually make it seem like that part of my life was even any good. If people would have seen my room and realized that because me and my sister traded rooms, but after my sister left, I got my sister's room, and I obviously Lysoled the bed, and then decided to take it over, and all the stuff that my sister had done that I allowed my sister to do to my comics was take out all the cool pictures and then staple them onto her wall, and I thought that was awesome. My one of my favorite comics was Fathom, I guess, as growing up as a kid. It was Fathom, Venom, Spider-Man, and Cable, and the Punisher. There was so many kinds of comic books that I was into, and also comedy stuff like fucking what's his name? Deadpool and the Duck guy. So I mean, I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone, but I mean, obviously there's no freaking viewers, but this is probably just for me to look at later on. So and there's so much other stuff that I wanted to see that I probably would be better at if I would have kept those comics. So I mean,
Oh, fuck.
and also I got probably a lot of concussions.
Hey, come on, out.
So
Oh, shit, sorry. Look out.
it's a little bit sad.
Citizens report a Grand Theft Auto close
I'm picking
to,
it back up. So
the
I got a bunch of more comics, but
Just
they're mostly
in case I
DC
wasn't
right
having
now.
enough fun
So
already.
got Robin, the original from a trade, I guess. Well, not really a trade. He actually he was he went to a what was it? I'm actually going to Comic-Con, which is really awesome. It's gonna be great. And
Shit.
it's gonna be Wizard World
You got
Comic-Con,
lucky,
which is
buddy.
really cool because they have like 2-cent comics and stuff like that. So
Citizens report
see if I can build up my repertoire there. It'll be like 50 or 60 bucks.
the survivalist
And go all
camp.
out in the comic book section. And maybe buy some toys or something like that too.
Suspect
So
westbound
I'll maybe a
north
couple
of
posters. So
the survivalist camp.
I always could add more to my run. So. But I kind of want to get back into what I usually was, or what I wanted to get back into when I stopped being into football and
Copy.
all that other different stuff, because I can still pick apart any play or anything like that, and I can see what can happen before it happens, kind of a little bit. But I mean that's different. And that's for like if I ever want to be like a head coach somewhere, or like. But I'm always gonna like have like. stuff like that, because it's what got me into wanting to play football in the first place. It's what got me into wanting to be active and be a part of sports and be a part of life in the first place, because it got me wanting to know how those moves were actually done, it got me into jiu-jitsu and kung fu that my dad taught me, so it's really cool. But yeah, I always want to project something about myself and be able to project something about my my life, and in that, you know, and God dang it. All right, but let's do something fun. We are gonna cause a unholy explosion. The unholy explosion.
Copy that.
Sacrilege. All right, here we go. Oh, God dang it. No, you son of a bitch. Oh, man. Projecting the best part about yourself is always projecting the part where you can laugh, or where you can smile, or where you can show off the part where you're easygoing and you're right with yourself. It's never to be able to threaten someone or to be able to do something stupid, because eventually someone's going to threaten your life. Whether you're an old man or you're a small child or you're going to be an old man soon. Realize that eventually people's actions, they come back on them. People's idiotic, stupid tendencies eventually start to make their life for them.
Look out!
And no, it's not live by the sword, but die by the sword. It's live by the sword, and you might eventually trip over it. Whether it's somebody who actually owns the sword, or owns a different sword, or if you just doing it yourself eventually realize that you
Oh!
I just farted.
What is this bullshit?
Realize that the more you want to project about yourself, the more fun stuff you want to project about yourself, the more fun stuff that is going to be had. The more fun times are going to be had with you. And then eventually, if you realize that that's all you needed, that's all you wanted, that's all you wanted, that you want other people to project about themselves, then there's no reason to hate. And oh, I can see I'm naive or stupid or say that I'm whatever. No, being naive is thinking that hate is going to rule everything. Because there are people out there that want to be able to love the things that they love and do the things they want to do, and those things are good and positive. And sometimes comic books do actually imitate real life. So if you're out there and you think that because art imitates life. If you're out there and you think that 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 you can go on projecting yourself to be just a terrible person and then being a terrible person. I'm not talking about hating people or, ooh my gosh, you totally hated on that one person that was there. You totally told that baby killer what they were doing was wrong.
Suspect doing 90 miles per hour in
I know, they're not a baby killer. It's a part of themselves. They do have a say-so in it, whether it lives or dies. And whether they can take care of it or not is probably the reason why they want to they'll put it out of its misery. Or your misery, or anyone's misery that we would have if you kept it. So, realize that the more misery you bring into this world, the more hurt you bring into this world, the more hurt is done unto you once you leave it. It's not hell. Realize that that's what I believe. The more terrible acts you do, the more hurt will be done to you by society and people who believe that that's wrong. You won't rest if your misery machine keeps existing. And once you're done, people won't feel sorry for you.
Man! I'm gonna be using your car.
And I realize that I keep talking a certain way because I sometimes slouch and hunch over. But also realize that
Hey, car!
also realize that that no one will care about your plight if you don't care about yourself. And if you don't care about others. And I'm not talking about any Eric Cartmans. I'm talking about chicken fuckers. I'm talking about people who are fucked up. Like, seriously fucked up in the head. Like, if they don't get help eventually, then they'll eventually die a gruesome death. Because the gruesome death will be them never getting help for the things that they did wrong.
You got lucky, buddy.
And isn't that what they came here for? Realize you're on borrowed time. If you make bullshit up, if you act like there's nothing for you to be able to do, or nothing for you to do that is good, I realize that I'm a dork, but I'm a pretty big dork. I'm not saying that it's, oh, you know, fight you myself. No. I'm just saying that I'm a pretty smart dork. I'm not saying that I'm like really huge or anything like that, but I'm saying that I'm a pretty big dork. I'm pretty smart. And it would take some time. That's just on my last video, you know, so if anybody feels as though their butt hurt or anything like that, or if they don't agree with me, or not to say if they don't agree with me, because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I mean, not to say that. But if they agree, if they think that those people deserve sympathy, then they're really wrong. Because those people were probably given sympathy votes constantly, and that's how they got in those positions in the first place. So, I'm like a mixture of like, I wonder like Brainiac, but I would deal justice like Batman if I would give him a chance. So, let's keep going. This is fun. Shit.
Shit!
My words exactly.
Oh.
Right. I'm a helmet because it's really dangerous out there. Alright. No! Don't fall. Don't fall. Come on. You gotta go up. Alright. This is fun. Alright, like, project the best parts of yourself. And eventually those best parts will actually be you. I'm not talking about anything negative anymore, because, I mean, my dad used to get serious on me sometimes. Like, he wouldn't punish me or anything like that, but he would talk about all the bad shit in the world, and I would just be like, wow, Dad, that's fucked up. And I was like the doe-eyed kid who kind of like wanted to just understand the world, I guess, in a better light.
Look out!
My dad wasn't always the best light to be able to understand that in. And granted, he was a good light. He was a good guy. He's a really good guy. But he never had the best demeanor about like fucked up things. And oh man, I just wanted to tell him that I love him and that I care about him a lot. So. Alright, let's keep going. The fast fuck. Okay. Oh man.
Shit.
I've had too many drinks, I didn't realize that was an actual back of the truck. So, alright. No! Shit! I ran into a farmhouse. Oh man. Alright. I have this really hot bikini anime girl on my screensaver, and it's like boobies in anime don't do the same thing in real life. And it's just appealing. I don't know. They're just like they're like buns with little. I'm talking about. Alright, shit!
Whoa, okay!
It sucks, man.
Oh,
You can't get a break. Alright, alright, so... Let's keep going.
Sorry, wait now. I need this. Get
Go
out
even further
of the
beyond...
fucking way.
Yeah, I know. That whole thing. The Dragon Ball Super. Okay, now I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can jump some ramps. Jump some ramps and jump some ramps. Jump some ramps and steal a motorcycle. Or, actually, you know what? That's what I want to do. Oh. Okay. Awesome. I want to... Oh, there it was. There's my chance.
Hey, you hit me.
Okay.
Come on, man. You gotta get me out of here.
Yeah, I don't care.
You seen that body over there? I can't wait to hit a cop.
Don't care. Alright. Alright.
Ah, shit.
Keep going. We're gonna make it out to the desert, and then we're gonna start jumping all these hills. Yeah. There we go. And also, projecting a good part of about yourself is always a good thing. And, but also realize that just projecting the best parts about yourself and not practicing the best parts about yourself is the worst thing you can possibly do. Projecting the best parts about yourself and not actually practicing the best parts about yourself is lying. You're lying to yourself. So realize that emotional projection can be used for stupid shit. But also for fun and good stuff and great stuff. Like and my dad's gonna always have those clips, so it's gonna be hilarious to when the zombie apocalypse happens. Or if any sort of like emergency breaks out. My dad recently just had a stroke, so he's alright though. I used to play a lot of football and do a lot of stuff. So, get a heart attack at 38. Yeah, they get triple or quadruple bypass surgery because he weighed so much. I know he was like 300 pounds, but he was like pure muscle and like freaking, like, I don't know, but his heart was enlarged, so yeah, it's what it can do, it's what it does to. So. He played for Tulane. So.
What is this bullshit?
Talking about my dad, Mike. Jeez. Trying to do stunts. And I got to get my friggin' thing. Thank you. Helmet on for safety. Alright. I don't care for radio stations. You want to do shit that's tight and talk about perceptions and making projections of emotional stability. Man, it's just, it's hard to think about it sometimes, you know? I already lost my aunt, so, and, I wasn't able to go to her funeral because, I don't know, I just didn't make it. I wasn't able to. Mom didn't call me, I guess. And probably I was asleep at one point or another. Shit, that was fun.
Man!
That was awesome. But, these are reasons why I will always love and respect my family and friends. Because my dad always told me that friends don't come around that often. Good friends don't come around that often. And you have to cherish every single one of your friends if you want to be able to keep them around. My dad had the unfortunateness to sometimes get friends who were on the wrong side of what people thought was the bad side of society. And granted, they made shit tons of money, but I mean, and they weren't gangsters or anything. They just had bad habits. So they just had really bad habits. But they were good people, and some of them are not with us anymore. But they were some of the best people. They were really good. If I was ever to see them again, I'd tell them how much I miss them. I'd tell them how much I care. So, that's what I want to project about myself sometimes. And not like, it's not like a ploy or a thing. It's just what I want to project about myself sometimes. Is people out there are taken for granted constantly. And some people don't deserve the kindness, but others do, because their lives can be, I'd say, their lives could be like, the biggest inspiration to you, but it's not really meaningless, but it's more like just a regular everyday thing. And more, that's probably what people actually want in life, in real life, to begin with. Just people to be there. You don't have to like do totally amazing stuff, or you don't have to be totally the most amazing person. Just be there for some people. Be there for yourself, and be there for your friends. There we go. This is the place where I was last time when I fucked up royally. Where is the road? Where is the road? There we go. We're gonna do it. Oh my god. This is awesome. Oh my god. Oh, I fucked up again. Oh well. And also too, when you're going downhill, as far as when life goes, I don't know if I can turn that into a euphemism, but I'm gonna try. When you're going downhill on the motorbike known as life, realize that sometimes you have to tilt back, you know, or else you can get a face full of rocks and gravel and dirt and pavement, and realize that that you're only worth as much as the bike will. You're only worth as only as much as the bike will stand, you know. So also be safe. Always wear a helmet. Don't always wear a helmet. Like, I mean, like always. It's a metaphor. Be safe. Always have protection. And I'm not talking about get a weapon or anything like that. I'm talking about always wear a raincoat when it rains. Always wear a raincoat when it rains. Sometimes I put on a coat and it's not even raining, but it's good that I have a raincoat on. You know, I mean, raincoats are really handy sometimes when you're out there with the you're out there in the thicket, you know? Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
You got lucky, buddy.
Alright, here we go. We're gonna try to make it down this hill. Whether I know it or not, we're gonna keep on trying. Probably the hill that I'm talking about. But probably the hill that I'm gonna do. Gonna take a part of mountain. Life is a mountain, and if you go off the edge, then you better wear a helmet. He's not wearing a raincoat, but you gotta get it. Gotta smooth. Shit. Oh no! No, don't fall! Don't fall! Don't fall! Oh my god, no! No! Where's my motorcycle at? This is terrible. No! Who am I? Okay, I gotta go uphill to find my motorcycle. Why didn't you keep the helmet on? Oh, jeez. Oh! When you're going uphill, when you're going up that hill in life, you gotta realize that sometimes you gotta go by those trees that you left your motorcycle at, and you gotta pick up that tree. I mean, motorcycle. Can't pick up the tree because the tree isn't worth. Son of a bitch. It's too steep. Okay. It's good. We're good. Okay, wait. I gotta go this way first, and then. Okay, gotta go this way. Come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. No, what the hell is going on? What the hell? Okay, I gotta use it on that crack. Okay, I'm gonna use the crack. Okay. What the fart stars and horseshoes? The featherweights and... Okay, I'm just going across. I'm going across. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. That's not even... thing. That's terrible. What the... This is... doing this thing. The freaking... God damn it. Son of a bitch. No, don't do it anymore. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can... I'm gonna walk down. Walk down. Walk down. I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna walk down. Keep walking down. Not gonna run. Alright, now I'm gonna walk up this hill because I'm gonna use the flat ground right here to call forth another. And oh, yes, yes. This time I'm not gonna wear a fucking helmet. Okay, I'm gonna stop and then put on a helmet. Because... Alright. Gotta get on some even ground. Alright, here we go. Awesome. Alright, here we go. It's gonna be a beautiful thing when I frickin' go down the hill. And it's gonna be amazing when I frickin' jump down this hill. It's gonna be amazing, yeah, when I find a way to go. And I'm obviously already going down the hill now. What the? Oh no! I did it. I went down the hill, amazing. I farted too, so that was great. I did it. I'm amazing, and I don't need to go anymore down the hill, because the hill of life, because I've already gotten there, and I've already won, because I won. I'm amazing. I got amazingness. They're amazing. That's amazing. Okay, let's see if we can get to the motorcycle, not military base. I'm getting a motorcycle to get into the military base because I don't feel like getting any more regular vehicles. Gotta cover up my shame. Gotta cover up my bruises. The bruises on me. Gotta cover up these scabs on my face. So. The never-ending story. La 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 la. The never-ending story. And I'm talking about perspective, because never-ending story is a really good thing. It talks about times lost and times gained through belief and power in self. And it may have some teachings of Buddhism, but I don't believe in that Buddha shit. Because it's instead of what's the word? Instead of a big old friggin' ripped ass old guy with a beard and a sword, you get like this a pudgy big old fat dude who might be fast, and but he's like Boo from Dragon Ball Z. Basically, all the characters from religion was Dragon Ball Z fighting, except for all right. Here we go. We are gonna get into the military base, and we're gonna freaking fight a goddamn tank. But guess what? It's gonna be fun because we're gonna dodge it all day long in this motorcycle funness. Yeah! Damn it, I missed. Shit. Alright, I probably undershot it. Let's go. Do this. We're actually gonna find the tank and seek him out. And I'm gonna see if I can dodge his bullets. Because I want to do the Matrix bullshit. It's going to be awesome. Being able to project something about yourself that is healthy. And I didn't do that right because I went on the wrong part of the ramp. So. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to persist. Because that's what life is all about. If you get caught up trying to deal with stuff that if you don't make it on the hill to the military base the first time, if you don't make it on the hill to the military base the first time, you gotta try again, just like Aaliyah said. And God dang it, keep going. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be great. Yes, yes, yes. I'm amazing. And I fell.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, don't want to take off the helmet because it's not safe in here. Son of a bitch. I wanted to do it the first time, every single time. But it doesn't freaking work that way. Shit! Can't even dodge bullets. There was a tank. Oh my god! There's just did terrible things. It's terrible things. But yeah. Projecting the right and healthy part about yourself is always good. And realizing that eventually we're not all heroes, we're not all villains, we're not all anything. We're just people trying to find a way, man. If only God was one of us. Just a slob like one of us. I'm gonna stop quoting that song now because it's copyrighted material. Alright, and also, what if God existed? Then he'd probably be able to do that. Alright,
Get the fuck out of here!
alright, yeah. So,
I'm sorry about that.
why did I not put in the cheating as a motorcycle? Because sometimes you can't cheat. Because you can't cheat the system. It's perspective. Some people cheat the system all the time and try to get away with constant amounts of different things, and they lose it, and they don't do right or something. I don't know. It's just it's a constant cycle of blah blah blah, and it's just people try to cheat the system. And yeah, I thought that was gonna happen. That was gonna be really cool. But okay. So being able to be the most positive version of yourself. Oh my god. Sometimes you need to realize how far down the rabbit hole goes. And you need to realize how far down your deepest, darkest secrets and your deepest, darkest thoughts.
Why weren't you tied up?
Shut up. Alright, but also realizing that,
the Paula Springs tramway.
that not every day is gonna bring you to that conclusion. It's gonna bring you to that conclusion, or to that it's not gonna be as satisfying every day, you know, and that's something you're gonna have to deal with. But realize that if you're not dealing with something that's making you satisfied every day, it's making you feel good about your own ideas and your own
Whoa! Too close!
your own wants, maybe you should hang the hat up and be like, this is for somebody else. This isn't for me. It's not going to be the death of you. It's not going to be the death of anything. It's not going to be the death of anything at all, or anyone. It's just for somebody else. And you're not that person. That's what I had to do with my Urban Street and French Quarter fueled job wanting. Because I realized that I could get a job so quickly in the French Quarter, and it would be amazing. But I also realized that I could lose that job just as quickly. And then realized also that there was no job placement, there was no job security, there was no, hey, after a certain amount of time you get benefits because we realized that you're a good employee. It's like, no, if you fuck up one time, if you fuck up one time, and I'm not saying that I've ever fucked up at a job, because I haven't. I mean, I've barely made any mistakes when I was at a job. And that's why I've probably been asked back at certain places. So, and there's a broken tire. Alright, but also realizing that the best version of yourself is the one that'll get everything done, and the one that'll make everything happen for yourself.
Acknowledged.
Realize that, yes, mate. Into the military base. Now it's ready. Now I'm ready. 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 I'm gonna jump over this. Where's the goddamn tank at? I'm gonna fucking ram him. Oh shit. I just quit smoking, so 6 days ago, so I'm still coughing up lungs and shit. So, alright, notice that the best part about yourself is the best part that you should project. Realize that the more you project that certain part about yourself and the more you practice that, the more you'll be able to understand more about yourself emotionally. And the more you'll be able to delve into those hardcore thoughts, those stupid, ugly thoughts sometimes that just pop up out of nowhere. Because everybody has them. It's just not as frequent in some people as it is in others. So realize that everyone has those thoughts. Realize that everyone's going to have those thoughts no matter what. And also realize that you can make the best of those thoughts. Because those thoughts can be something that can push you forward and push you toward a goal rather than try to bring you back from something or try to mess you up in some sort of way. Realize that you can rewire your brain to do pretty much anything. You are the master of your own controls. Eventually, kids that can't walk eventually will be able to walk if they practice at it enough. If they practice at themselves enough, and they say that, oh, spinal damage is irreversible, but in like 20 years they're gonna be like, oh, spinal damage was completely okay. We didn't have to worry about any of that shit. So, fucking realize that eventually people are gonna find ways to be able to make everything better, and you'll be better because of it. Realize that people are gonna be able to find a way to make something out of nothing, and eventually people are gonna be able to find ways to be able to melt metal without actually using fire, because it breaks it down molecularly, and people are saying that sometimes it's weak in some areas, but they're stupid and dumb, and they need to understand that that's the reason why. It's because they used fire for so goddamn long and depended on it for so goddamn long. But eventually all the science stuff is gonna actually come through, and or not eventually, pretty much now, I guess. So, but also too, there's stupid people that came up with dumbass reasons for the reasons why their world didn't go better than another person's world, but they didn't have the contracts that other people did in other parts of the world, or other parts of the country, or other parts of the universe. Obviously, I mean, this part of the universe is probably one of the best. So, one of the best. Because I'm sure it's not the best. It doesn't have breathable air, or it doesn't have breathable water. That's for damn sure. So, I just made a Rick and Morty reference, if no one heard it. And, but yeah, just keep projecting the part about yourself that you think is positive, that you want to be, that you really want to be. And you're going to have to think about what you actually want to be. Because realizing that there are so many different things out there, so many ways to be, millions and billions upon billions of different ways to actually go about doing different things. So, or actually thinking about different things. So realize that you could be an audible thinker. Because audible thinkers are ways people that change their thought patterns constantly are able to change their thought patterns constantly. Let's see. It's like sound thinkers, people who memorize sounds and different things are able to realize different sounds are able to sound like other different things, and sometimes they can turn into beat masters or different people that like really like to do different stuff, or like people who like let's see, who like science and chemicals can be the best engineers or the best electrical engineers or the best anything, because every kind of engineering bleeds into each engineering. If you understand it, if you don't understand it, that you realize that eventually you're going to have to run an electrical current through a certain chemical to make it have a reaction. Or to make it have a higher reaction, or a lower reaction, or a different reaction, or any kind of reaction. So that's the reason why you have to be proficient in different kinds of sciences and different kinds of things and different kinds of stuff. So realize that eventually you thinking a certain way will bring you to a completely different career that you ever even thought you would be at, or a completely different thing that you ever thought you would ever be at. Like psychoanalysts can be forensic scientists or forensic anything, like work for the government or anything like that. People who work with computers or know how to deal with computers, know how to engineer computers, can eventually make their own, because that's what will happen eventually. Because we are in a downtrodden part. We are still in the recession that what's his name, Obama said we were in, and we are still in that recession, because that is the whole reason why Donald Trump would ever use the words "Make America Great Again" or any sort of thing like that, because we were in a recession and we're still in a recession, because there are only 4 airlines doing something, and there are only 4 different things doing something. Like Elon Musk isn't an airline yet, so obviously they're not going to be a part of that yet, because they're stupid and they're dumb. They think that space is the next frontier, and it's like, no, it's like we still got to find out a way to make the metals a lot stronger, so when they go into space and hit stuff, then they won't fucking fly apart. So good luck with that, NASA. and I mean all that other different shit, but project the best part of yourself, because eventually it will become your career set, and you'll actually love it more if you actually understand it. The part about it, you understanding your emotions and your thought patterns more. So realize that it'll eventually be what you really want to do with yourself. And a tiny thought today could mean a mountain of thought tomorrow. A tiny inspiration today could mean so much more tomorrow and the next day. And also, don't belly ride or back ride on top of the inventions of other people, but if you do that, become a marketing guru. There's a career for anyone out there. Anyone who's in love with robbing banks. Security. Security analytics systems. People who are out there just shooting guns for no reason at like hills and stuff like that, or you find out the metals that are in the bullets or anything like that. Like forensic scientists or anything that is really cool. You could be so many different things. There's just the tiniest bit of thought or the tiniest bit of inspiration toward one thought today could mean a completely different path for you.
We met at the bar last night.
Maybe even tomorrow. So, and if it doesn't happen tomorrow, then it could happen the next day. And if it doesn't happen that day, it could happen the next day. And the more you think positively like that, the better off you'll be in life. So, thank you for listening, and if you ever do listen, then thank you very much. This has been Game Therapy, and I'm Joe Bomb Squad. All right, and then we did that hill. We did that hill. That hill was amazing. That hill deserved it. We did that hill. The hill's not gonna come knocking on our back door, because it can't move. So hopefully. Wait, this isn't